A majority of the therapists that have come along or that I've met are people who actually blame me for letting these things happen to me. It has always been like this. At some point, I became a homosexual, and I feel like I'm going through that again. I'm tired of paying rent with my mental health. It's damaging. I'm losing myself.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Journey with More by Michelle Moore. You most welcome, and kindly do not doubt subscribing to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, and of course, like this video. I'm not alone as always. I am with someone, and she's gonna be telling her story. But before we go to that someone, guys, take the number that's popping on your screen and write to us. Come tell us your story. Motivate people. Come heal yourself. Come get help if you need any. We do try to help where we can. And of course, free yourself from that burden that you are carrying. From me, Michelle Moore, I'm going to be taking it to our Han that's going to be talking to us today. Hey, honey, tell people who you are. Tell them your name, where you come from, a little bit about yourself, and maybe if ever you want to talk about it, your family dynamics, just a little bit of that. Then you can go into your story.
Okay. Hi, my name is Inosentia Mabuza. I am from Witbank, currently in Johannesburg. I'm looking into moving into Johannesburg. I am a 23-year-old. I'm trying to figure out life. Family-wise, funny story.
Guys, like I always mentioned before we even dive into the story, it's another emotional episode, so we must brace ourselves for a little bit of pauses. Yeah.
And at home, it's 5 of us. I live with my parents, my mom and dad, and then 2 of my siblings. I'm the oldest. The other twins live in another province.
Okay. Let's just get into it then. Let's tell us your story. Tell us your story from the beginning. Tell us why you are here, what you're trying to take, the burden that you're trying to, offload. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was in my first year in university, we went out with a couple of friends. We came back, and then I wake up in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. I'm in the shower. I don't know how I got in the shower. And then I try to recall, but nothing is coming back. I am disgusted. That feeling of somebody touching me, the pain came back. And every time that feeling came back, it triggers that thing that happened when I was 3. So I try to figure out what happened, but I can't recall anything. It just goes on. I think it started affecting my academics as well because I was in my first year in uni. I tried to get into therapy, but it didn't help. A majority of the therapists that have come along or that I've met are people who actually blame me for letting these things happen to me or blame it on my sexuality, like as if it's okay for corrective to happen to somebody. Yeah, and then
How do they blame you? Like when you tell your story,
yeah,
do they feel like it was your fault?
a majority of the time it's like I would tell them what happened, and then they would go on to ask, would you be in a relationship with a man? It
Yeah.
somehow just goes to that.
Yeah.
And every time that happens, at this point, I don't think I'm open to therapy because of my previous experiences. And then this went on to happen again in my second year, whereby it was my rest manager would walk into my room without knocking. Sometimes I'd be naked and I would feel so uncomfortable. So that kept on happening. I think you start getting used to it, that it happens. It happens. Okay, back to the 1 year rest. Nothing happened to it. It's like a chapter that I decided to close because I submitted. But then when I try to find more information on the case, they say that there's no rape kit, there's no evidence. But I saw myself submitting my boxes.
So they say they lost it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no evidence. So I wanted to find closure, at least to find is it real? Did it really happen? Even though like I was throwing up, the nausea that keeps coming back whenever like I'm in close contact with like a guy and stuff like that, it keeps happening. But I think it would have brought me closure that, yeah, it did happen and I would be able to move on from it.
Are you saying to me whenever you come in close contact with the guy, you feel some type of way.
Yeah. That feeling comes back.
Yeah.
That feeling comes back from when I was 3.
I can imagine.
We really need to speak on child rape as parents and victims, because usually the perpetrator is always somebody around there, somebody who's close to you, somebody you know.
And they always defend them.
Yeah.
Tell me about your mom not believing you. How did that?
It affected me. It's to an extent that I can say something and you would say it too, but she wouldn't believe me. She has never believed me. She would believe something that you say instead of believing me as her child. So she says, yeah, now she doesn't remember that happening, but it's a vivid memory. I know what I felt. I know what I've experienced. And yeah, it is what it is.
So how are you, how when you say you don't want to go to therapy anymore, how do you feel? How do you cope with everything that has happened to you? I'm talking about the whole being essayed. How do you feel? How do you cope with it?
Okay, I used to just shove it at the back of my head, but I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore.
That's why you feel like you need to talk about it.
Yes, I'm even starting to have anger issues and aggression, and it shows that there's something wrong. I have to go back and unlock those memories because it isn't something that happened once. I experienced when I was 12, but I think I've mentioned this one. My neighbor who lives just across our house saw my parents leaving to church. In our church, you don't come when you're on your periods, but so I had to remain behind. This guy came into my house the moment he saw that my parents left, and then he went in and he found me bathing, and then he pushed me on the bed, and then he inserted his, and he told me that I will never be a boy.
He said that to you?
He said I will never be a boy. And then that was okay. I guess I just locked it up. And then my mom saw my underwear. It had like a bit of blood. And then she asked me what was going on. Why what's going on? I was scared to tell her because the first time I told her,
of course,
she didn't believe me. She gaslit me. So what's the point of me telling her that this happened again? Even she's going to be shocked when she sees this episode.
She doesn't know that you here.
Yeah. And the one that happened at rest, she didn't know. She just knew that there was a case, and she thought that maybe I did something wrong. When she heard that I was going to the police station often, she used to say that, yeah, why don't you tell us why you dropped out of school? Why don't you tell us? And
so your mom is not supporting you in any way when it comes to these things. So some of them she doesn't know about them because you couldn't even go to her with that kind of information.
Yeah.
Where are you at with her right now? Like your relationship?
I'm in the process of cutting her off until maybe she decides to go get help, like psychological help, because I can see symptoms of mental illness in her. We do have a history of that in our family, but she says she doesn't believe in those things. So there's nothing we can do. So I'd rather just cut her off because I see that it's eating me up and I'm losing myself each and every time, because on some days she's a loving mother, and then the next moment she's somebody who's taking your clothes out, she's throwing them on the streets, she's kicking you out, she's telling you hurtful things. She says hurtful things, very hurtful things. Like, I remember some things from when I was a child, before I went to school. She used to say that she doesn't love me. So, yeah, maybe a part of me still thinks that I'll get that love from her, but I can see that I won't. In fact, it just gets worse. And then now it's worse because we have different religious beliefs. She's a staunch Christian. I'm somebody who's open to exploring spirituality, African spirituality to be precise. So we clash. Time to time we clash.
Is that why you want to move away from home?
Yes. And yeah, living home, it's not bearable anymore. I can't do this anymore.
Where does it stem from, you and your mom? Where does it stem from? Is there anything in particular?
I think it's because this is a generational thing. It's been happening from my great grandmother to my grandmother, from my grandmother to my mother, and then she's passing it on to me. She's also the eldest daughter at home. I remember this one time she told me that her stepfather he was abusing my grandmother to an extent whereby my mom came in with a shovel and hit him with the shovel, and then the guy took his dogs and started chasing her. She ran in and went to hide in the fields.
So toxicity all the way.
Yeah.
She's carrying it out. She doesn't even see anything wrong with the toxic. How is she with her other children? Like it's not only you, most there are other siblings there, and how's her parenting with other kids?
I wouldn't say it's good, but she has her favorites, and you can see that these are her favorites. If you say anything, for example, we're sitting together, it's me and maybe one of her favorite kids, and then she tells me to do something, right? And then I'm like, I could be in the other room, and I'm like, how nearby? Why doesn't on to fetch the thing? We're going to fight.
So you guys fight over small things. It's like you are the trigger.
Yeah.
It's almost like you are the trigger.
Yeah. I remember this one time I was in grade 9. She hit me to an extent whereby she was stepping up on my head. She was kicking me.
Your mother.
Yeah. People, my friends from high school, maybe they will see this and comment some of the experiences they've seen me go through. I used to go to school sometimes with like bruises because she was physically.
Sure. Yeah. Have you ever tried sitting down with your mom and talking to her about her behavior?
No, we tried once with like a social worker, but she pretended as if she doesn't know any of the things that I'm saying.
Does she feel sorry though about all of this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I remember your TikTok video. I can't be precise about what you were talking about, but I'm interested in what you were saying in that TikTok video. The things that you mentioned. I want you to take us through that.
Oh, yeah. I was having a horrible day. It was the day whereby she took out my spiritual garments. Like she knows that those things are off limits. She went on to take them out and threw them out. She hid my money. I couldn't leave home because I told her that, you know what, I have had enough. I'm leaving today. I'm going to give you your space. She hid the money. I feel like she enjoys this sometimes. Because what do you mean? You're telling me that you don't want me in your space. You're telling me how if my dad gives me attention, for example, she's going to say things like, yeah, it's because you're sleeping with my man. If my dad gives me money and doesn't give her money, yeah, maybe I should leave this house and leave you with your father because your father is your husband.
What?
You should take my role as a wife. Clearly, I'm not good enough. When you're the right fit for the husband, I must leave. I will leave you with him.
She even accuses you of sleeping with your own father.
Yeah.
Your blood father.
Yeah. So I'm trying to move out right now and find my own place because I can see that like I'm losing myself and not just losing myself. Sometimes thoughts just come by and strike that, yeah, maybe if I just remove myself from this planet, maybe things will be better.
Does she know you? She's gonna watch this. You must whatever you're saying right now, it must be like a message to her more than an attack to her. Like, you know, she must get something out of it. So you need to just speak your mind.
Yeah, I think she should go into therapy and maybe heal some of her childhood traumas and try to fight generational curses or generational traumas so that they don't pass on to us. You know, it must start somewhere at the top. She's still alive. I don't have kids yet. And she sees how this affects me. I don't want to have kids because of how I was raised. It's the last thing on my mind. So, yeah, I think the only way she would get grandchildren from me is if she goes to therapy.
But how does she feel about you being you? I'm talking about sexuality and all of that. How does she feel about that?
I had to run away from home when I was outed. I didn't out myself. Somebody outed me in the family that your child is a lesbian. I remember I tried once when I was in grade 10 to come out to her and like, hey, mom, what would you say if I told you that I was a lesbian? And she said that I'll kill you. So when I was outed, she had Retex and she threatened
Aibo,
to
she wanted to
poison
carry it
me.
out. No, man. What do you mean?
It's one of the reasons why I the constant use of the Bible verses there about homosexuality and stuff were used to me. Even in some churches where I went, there's that they would bring out the verse every time I'm in church. They bring out the verse that stuff like that. Yeah, so
So when you say she had a Retex, how did you know that she was gonna put, like, how did you figure that out? Tell me about that.
she
Was
said
she
it to my
going to?
face.
She told you.
Yeah, she said that she didn't give birth to a boy, and that is not going to happen in her house.
But you're not trying to be a boy.
That's the thing. I tried explaining, but we get along. So I had to run away from home for like 2 weeks. And then she called our relatives. I was living in Tembisa with my girlfriend back then. It was 2020, 2020, right after my matric. I matriculated in 2019. I went there and then she called the cops, wrote a paragraph. I'm not sure if the girl still has the texts. She wrote a paragraph that she's going to get us arrested because I'm a minor and I ran away from home. The other relatives started calling, cursing me out that like I'm out of order and stuff like that. But she didn't tell them everything that had happened that led us to me running away from home. So every time she even like recently the day we had the fight and she threw my things out, I remember she called my brother to come and put me into order in her way. That's what she says. My brother came. When he came, he asked me. My brother usually asks me what's going on. And then I tell her, hey, it has started again. So I'm leaving today. And then I found a friend to accommodate me. So I went to my friend to be accommodated. So I hated being home. I hated being home with everything in me. I used to be so happy for every morning and just bath and go to school. That was the best place to be at. And I would come back home very late because I hated being home. I still do. I hate being home. I know home is where the love is, but it was never that for me. It was never that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wish your mom watches this. You know, sometimes to tell someone something, you have to tell it in, like, I'm not saying this is the best platform to tell your mother such things, but if you don't have a good relationship with your mom and it comes to this point where you now have to pour out your feelings, like, that's what I'm saying to you. Feel free to pour it out, you know?
Yeah.
Don't hold anything back, because once she watches this, maybe she'll get it, you know? She'll get it.
Yeah.
Actually, this person is hurting. Maybe she thinks you're just okay. Maybe she
Yeah.
thinks these things are just normal. What if she thinks everything is okay? And when you are hurting.
Yeah, even the violence part of it, like, it's so normal to her because that's how she grew up. That's how she grew up. So, yeah.
Have you ever
I
thought
hope she
about
heals.
have you ever thought about you and your dad doing something about it? Drastic, like committing her to some mental institution where she'll get help?
I think I'm going to look into that. I think I'm going to look into that.
So right now, as you are moving away from home, what is she saying? Has she engaged in that? Has she? So she doesn't care whether you move, you stay, your movements.
Yeah.
Has it been like this all your life with your mom?
It has always been like this. At some point, I became a homosexual, and I feel like I'm going through that again because
I'm so sorry.
home is unbearable. There's food in the fridge. Yes, she takes care of me. She buys me clothes. But I need more than that. I need love. And
Definitely.
I've been neglected my entire life. So.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't think I was going to cry today.
I knew you were going to cry. You know how I knew you were going to cry? Because your TikTok video made me cry. So there was no way you're going to tell a story like that and not cry.
Yeah.
When I'm always in front of the camera, I don't cry. I don't know why. But when I watch your stories from TikTok, you guys, and when I hear your stories, I always cry. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? I just wish she sees this. And do you think that day she had that text, she was going to use it? Do you think she was going to use it?
I saw it, and the reason I
Accidentally.
believed that, no, I know where we are supposed to keep them, but we don't have rats at home. So I assumed that, yeah, it's that. And when she went to work, she normally doesn't cook. When she goes to work, I cook. So when she came back from work and cooked and started pulling out like her best recipes, I was like, yeah, something is not right here. This person doesn't. She never cooks. She would rather yell at us until we cook.
So
She
that day
won't
she
cook when
wanted
she
to
comes back from
cook.
work. Yeah, I just figured that. Yeah, and she has said it more than once.
That she wants to kill you.
Yeah, like words like, "I brought you into this world and I would take you out." I grew up to such phrases, so I've gotten used to them. But I freaked out the moment I saw her text. We don't have rats at home. It became obvious.
The retics and hair cooking, it just made you.
Yeah. I remember this one time she called me from work. I don't know what was going on with her. She threatened that she was going to kill herself. I had to call her boss and tell her that please check up on my mom. She went to therapy that once and then she didn't go back.
Why would she want to kill herself?
I don't know. She just called me and said that I'm sick and tired. Look after my kids. I'm going to kill myself today. So it's not just the narcissism and the violence and childhood traumas. She's also suicidal herself.
That's what I'm saying. She's going through a lot herself. That's why I'm saying when she sees this, maybe she will understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you took it. Have you talked to her though about how you feel? Like how you really feel about the situation?
No, my feelings never mattered, so they wouldn't matter now. As much as we are a fun-loving family to the public, but some things are just off limits. You can't talk about them. You just have to deal with them by yourself. There's no room for that. You can't express yourself.
So your dad in all of this, what does he say? You moving out and everything else?
My dad is against me moving out. He doesn't want me to move out. But I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of paying rent with my mental health. It's damaging me. I'm losing myself. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. And I hope it will all work out so that I get my siblings out of and fix my relationship, because the youngest one resents me. I can tell that she resents me because I was aggressive and I started being towards the ones who come after me because violence was so normal at home. So she resents me. I can tell that she doesn't like me that much.
You.
Yeah. So I want to maybe eventually move in with them somewhere and then get my mom help, you know.
But getting your mom help is going to be one hell of a problem because she's your mom, bruh. If she doesn't want to go get that help, she's not going. It's gonna be very hard for you to initiate that process unless your father is willing to go in with you, 100% the thing. Wow.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. Because even now, I was at home, but I didn't go to my home. I was at somebody else's home. And I didn't get to see my siblings. I wanted to properly say bye to them. But it is what it is.
So you don't go there, like you can't just walk in and be like, I'm here to see my siblings and then go away.
Not now, because after the video I posted,
the TikTok one.
Yeah, my brother called me yelling at me. They're like, why would I go on and do something like this? And then I just blocked him, and that was that. Because this is me expressing myself and telling my story, and then you want to come in and shut me up.
Instead of taking something out of your story, they're shouting at you. I expect them to be like, wow, is this how you feel? Not attack you.
No, the image matters more than how you feel at home. We have to maintain a family image.
Yo, Your story. Okay. So right now you're not going back home. You want to move out and be on your own. And would you like to mention anything at all that would be helpful to your situation that you would like for people who are watching at home to assist you? Because already there's been people from TikTok assisting here and there most. So you can reach out to people and tell them what you need from them.
Okay. So I'm planning on going back to school next year. I dropped out in my third year at university. So I'm going to need registration fees and tuition. If you can help, please donate. I want to continue because I dropped out in my third year. I was not okay mentally. I was not okay. And I was scared of ending up in debt because my mom made it clear that she's not going to pay my fees.
How were you paying your fees from that first year to the third year?
I was using NSFAS.
Okay.
But because
of dropping out.
because of dropping out, they won't fund me anymore.
Yeah.
They won't fund me anymore. But I am applying for bursaries and stuff like that. Hopefully by February when registrations open, something would have come up. If not, I would really, really appreciate the donations. That is what is important to me right now. And if you can, I don't know, maybe I'll leave my numbers. I hustle. I'm a runner. I do deco. I do catering. If you can, in that way, and support my business, I would appreciate it very much. It's how I earn a living, and I need to ensure that I have a place aside because it's easier for me to like be a runner and buy things in the CBD and send them out everywhere else. I can't afford to always come here into to Joburg all the time. So maybe if I move this side, it would be better and easier.
So that you can do everything on your own and move out and everything. Yeah. So right now you were staying with a friend. Where you used to stay though, like in the same village as home?
It's a township. It's in another township.
Okay. All right. For the viewers at home, as you heard, she would like assistance if possible. For those of you who would like to assist, I urge her to open a Becca Buddy account. Maybe we'll do that and then I'll paste it on my description box so that you can go straight there and be donating and helping her out, because as you heard her story, she needs to be moving out of that home where she stays because she's been enduring this all her life. When I heard her story on TikTok, I was like, yo, this is a lot for one person. She's still young. She still needs to look forward to her life, which is just beginning. This was by far the shortest episode ever. But anyway, we're going to end it here. Yeah, I'll have everything on my description box. And yeah, we can take it from there, guys. If you are willing to help. For those of you who are not willing to help but willing to say a lot, please be nice. Be very nice, because this is a fragile situation. Like, we talk about people here, we talk about feelings, we're talking about real situations. It's not something that you go around and, joke about. So from me to you, I'm sending love. Kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video. And of course, keep coming back for more content like this. We are always here to give you real stories from real people who are willing to just open up and be like, I'm motivating someone, I'm healing, because most importantly, people need to just heal. A lot of you are home with a lot of baggage within, and then you're like, if I tell, I'm afraid that, like she said, my brother blocked me. I blocked my brother because my brother called and said, why would you want to do that? Instead of taking out the message that she's sending, because she's saying, I'm crying out for help, Listen. I'm trying to get you to listen. So yeah, that'll be all from us for today. I will see you again on my next upload. Your Tsonahan is tapping out. Thank you so much for watching.